Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Friday. It is Aloha Oracle Friday. Today, I make no muss about the woo-woo. We are into the woo-woo today. And, I really kind of hate that term, but that's the term that people who don't believe give to it, so whatever. I'm probably not helping with my shirt, but I thought it'd be so cute for Aloha Oracle Friday, so here we are. See, knower and seer, knower and seer of all, I was going to say of all things, but knower and seer of all. So anyways, Oracle guidelines, let's just jump into it. All right, let's just jump into it. Number one, and for people who might be new to this, I read the guidelines. Otherwise, I am just going to, ramble. So anyways, Number one, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Whatever your beliefs are, don't be afraid. If you are seeing this, just, give it a shot. Give it a listen, right? This is more about messages coming to us and me using just a catalyst for them. And I do all kinds of things. I use all kinds of things. So, Number two, do not make a card fit your question. If it does not resonate with you, forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Do not do that. Number three, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to write the book and put it together. So, let's honor the deck. And number four, angels, God, heaven, etc. might come up or they might not. Other things might come up. Other deities might come up. The universe might come up. Feel free to insert your higher power / universe. This will help the flow of the reading without stopping to clarify. So there you go. Shall we get to this? Let's get to this. I always open up with the angel answers. So, or answers from the universe, right? Whatever, your higher powers, your spirit guides, whatever it might be. So I'm an all-encompassing human being. So let's see if we can get our 5 cards for Friday. 5 cards for, How about 6? These literally just got stuck in my hand. So how about 6? All right, let's do 6. Hopefully they don't repeat themselves because that wasn't a very long shuffle, was it? But let's see. Yeah, there are 6 cards in here. So I'm going to shuffle these again. See how they come out. Number 1. A year from now. Seriously? I know. I've been going through some stuff this morning, and to hear a year from now, I'm just like, WTF. So, I have quite the potty mouth, so I'm really trying hard not to do that. I know that I said the show is my show, and it's a show. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. And I just really want to be my authentic self, myself, but sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. So, fuck it. So anyway, but a year from now, I know this is actually the only deck I do not read the card in or read the book in, because this is just to kind of wait for people to come on. That's always been the tradition of Oracle Friday, is waiting for people to come on. So anyways, here we are, a year from now. I know this can seem hard. Okay, but let's put it into terms of this. A year from now doesn't mean that's when it's going to happen. It could be a year from now. It could be a year and a day from now. But good morning, older sibling. But it could also mean that you're where you want to be. You are where you want to be a year from now. So if there's something that you want, maybe a job, a relationship, friendships, or meeting new people, or moving to a new place, it doesn't mean it's going to happen in a year. It could just mean, that, or that by this time next year, you will have accomplished a lot of these things, if not all of them. All right. But you got to trust and believe. Okay. So trusting and believing is huge. Whatever you're asking, this is the yes card. And there are 2 yes cards in this deck. One that just says yes, and the other one with the exclamation. So whatever you've been asking, pay attention, trust and believe, because boom, it is coming. And it is coming fast. A peaceful resolution. So if you're going through something with someone right now, here's the thing. You're always going to get a little bit of unsolicited advice during the oracle readings, and that's kind of general, right? But I'm also, the Aloha perspective gets incorporated into Aloha Oracle Friday, and I'm going to tell you right now, you don't always need to be right. All right, you don't always need to be right. You don't have to be wrong either. You don't have, if you know you're right, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you cannot convince people that, you're not here to convince other people to change your mind. You're here to fill them with facts. You're here to throw things at them. Not hard. I mean, just kind of toss the facts gently at them. And if they don't want to accept it, whatever. Move on, okay? Because you have to decide whether it's worth fighting over. Sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. But the only way you can agree to disagree, because sometimes you're going to say, well, that's because you believe me. Don't worry about it. As long as you are comfortable in what you believe in, there are other people who believe it too. And sometimes you have to do things subtly, right? And eventually people may or may not get it. It's not up to us. All right. We cannot fix other people. So you just have to, again, you have to figure out how to come across that peaceful resolution. And you sometimes, here it comes, have to be the bigger person. All right. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person. You don't go after people for sport, because you're good at it. Debating is a fun thing, but sometimes it doesn't always work out because, people really dig in, lots of people like to double down and dig their heels in. So you just gotta, and that could be coming from somewhere else inside of them. It could be fueled by something completely different from what you're talking about. Trauma and pain have a tendency to come out in weird, crazy ways. Okay. And I don't mean crazy like, crazy, but I mean in weird, strange ways. And a lot of times what, you might be fighting about may not be fueled by that person's actual belief, but by something else that might be causing them pain. It's an outlet. Okay. It's a way to let off steam. It's a way to release the hurt without realizing what it is, which is why in the perspective, I always talk about how we have to figure out the root of why our anger is there, why we are unhappy, why we feel the need to just, go after people, or, I don't mean, sometimes when you're debating, it's playful, okay? Because Sibling and I were talking about this, and that is not what I'm talking about. But I mean, when you hide behind a keyboard, sometimes there's extra pain in there. And this is why I journal so much, because I can get this way sometimes, and I have to figure out what that root is. All right, so find that peaceful resolution within the next few months. So we have a year from now within the next few months. So, yeah, I mean, it could, whatever it is that if a year from now resonated with you, like I said, don't panic. If it resonated with you and this card doesn't, don't panic. Remember, it's like rule number 3, I think it is, says, do not try to, it's rule number 2. Do not try to, I should say guidelines, make the card fit, what you want it to fit. Because that's just going to cause a lot of overthinking. A couple months from now might pass and you'll be like, well, what's happening? And then a year from now, you're like, oh, look, everything's happened. Just give it time, okay? So if this card resonates with you a few months from now, take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep manifesting, setting your intentions, praying. And remember, use the key phrase afterwards. Before you say your thank you, or before you say your amen, this or something better. This or something better, so that you get what is meant for you. Okay. And so, I notice I say okay a lot. I'm so sorry. It's just habit, but, I do that a lot too, but that's just not going to change. So, like I said, if this card does resonate with you, that's great. If it doesn't, do not try to make it fit. Okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep manifesting, keep trusting, and keep believing, because eventually whatever it is that you want to happen is going to happen for you in one way or another, this or something better. But you have to trust and believe. And you just have to be open to whatever the result is going to be. Okay. I cannot predict what is going to happen for you. Oracle cards are just here to give you guidelines, just like the tarot, right? I'm not good at reading the tarot without the book. For some reason, I see these oracle cards and they just hit me like a ton of bricks with all the information. Other things, like that, I swear to you, it takes a special gift to do those things, because people that can do that astound me. My friend's daughter can do it. She can even do it with playing cards. My cousin can do it even with just playing cards. And it's like, you're amazing. You're amazing. But they're guidelines. They're kind of, you know, saying, hey, this is the road you can take and that's what's going to happen. Or this is the road you can take and that is what's going to happen. But you have to decide which road you want to take. You know, sometimes people can't predict the future. I know a lot of people who can see the future, and a lot of times I think it's important for them to do that, to tell us, because then we know that we can change it. You know, if it's something bad, it doesn't mean your prediction didn't come true. It means you changed it. You redirected. It was a warning and you heeded the warning. And if it's something good, then you know you can look forward to something. You know, no matter how long it takes, you can look forward to something. So I know, year from now, 2 years, 3 years, never. Sorry, just me being cynical now. Reel it in, Shelley Marie, reel it in. Success. And not just success, but success with an exclamation mark. So, whatever it is you were trying to go for, whatever it is that you are thinking you want to do, go for it. You will have success. Okay. You will have success. And, you know, it may not be big success. It may just be something that, it could be very localized kind of success. And that's okay too. It doesn't matter how big it is. If it brings you joy and it makes you happy, that is successful. Me starting up my show and doing it now for an entire week and 2 days, not missing a show, trying to show up every moment on time with the exception of a couple days ago. But like I said, I had a crisis. And to be honest with you, what happened is my friend's dog had passed away the night before. And I saw her text message about probably about 15 or 20 minutes before the show was supposed to start. And I do apologize for it being late, but I do put my people first because as a cat mom, you know, as a fur mom, I understand how hard it is, especially, you know, whether you have kids or not. These are our babies, you know. I mean, I have friends and family that their dogs are just as special to them as their own children. You know, it's like it's their sibling, you know, it's their first sibling. So, you know, but it was a success because I came on every single day and I didn't skip the show that day. I said, you know what? I'm still going to do it. I still have to do it. And I'm still going to do it. So there you go. Be assertive. You want all these things to happen? Be assertive. Even if you don't know how to be directly assertive, you can be assertive by being assertive in your own life. Trust and believe. Take time to believe that you deserve these things. Take time to look in the mirror and say, I am loved. I am enough. You tell yourself you love yourself. I love you. Healing doesn't create self-love. Healing comes from self-love. I read that quote yesterday and it blew my mind. And because it's so simple and it's so true. And I thought, I'm like, no, that's right. I had to learn self-love to heal. Because I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to treat myself like I would treat other people. How to treat my inner child as if it were a child standing in front of me. Would I say these things to these people? Would I say these things to this kid? You know, and it's like when you want to be kind to yourself, you have to find that self-love and that self-acceptance. You know, and I ran through the gamut of all the different selves that we can do for ourselves. And it's not narcissistic, okay? And it's not being self-centered. I realize that some people will think, yeah, but it's, you know, no. Self-love is it's not about, you know, creating a billboard for yourself and saying, yeah, I'm awesome. Everybody should love me. No. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I deserve to be in this world. You know, and to treat people the way you want to be treated, to walk around and tell people, hey, you know what, good for you. Or, you know, when you see somebody do something or when you see somebody struggling, right, good for you, you know, and way to go, nice job, high five. You know, it doesn't take much to give someone a compliment. So be assertive in a lot of different ways. Be assertive in your own life. Be assertive if you see someone struggling and needs help. You know, just be there, be in control, okay? Be in control of your own life. We cannot fix other people's lives, but we can, you know, change whatever we want in our own lives and then see how it extends out past us. You know, it's like a ripple effect, okay? So let's see. I always try to make these into something. So yes, Success will happen to you within the next few months. It will start and could be finished or starting in, you know, the next few months and a year from now. But be sure to be assertive, and if any nasty things come up, find the peaceful resolution. Be the bigger person. Be the bigger person that knows how to agree to disagree and just walk away. Okay, we don't need to keep the arguments going. We don't need to, I need to be better at that, because some people tend to sometimes get under my skin. And I try not to take it personally, but I do. So I know this is the Aloha Oracle Friday. I did pull out this unicorn deck again because this is my favorite. But let's go with the magical messages of the fairies, right? For people that might be a little sketch on the fairies, just remember they're also called nature angels. All right, so however you want to look at them, nature angels, fairies, whatever your belief system falls into. Oh, I was going to say, are we going to get any cards? I only shuffle 3 times. If we don't get anything after 3, that's it. It's done. Nope, we only get 1. How about them apples? Oh, I know, I'm trying to keep it light still because I'm still kind of getting back into being me again. So affirmations, I love affirmations. To me, affirmations are another version of praying, right? It's like if you, like, I mean, I do so many prayers at night, you know, I thank God for the great day. But like I said, I have a very vast spiritual table. It's not just God. He's just kind of the chairman of the board of my table because, like I said, I was raised Catholic, and, you know, that's always going to be a part of me. Not just because it, you know, it's not because it's ingrained in me. It's because it keeps me connected to my mom. You know, that's a big part of why it keeps me connected to my mom. But affirmations are big. They're very helpful. What I was just talking about, I am enough, I am loved, I belong in this world. Those are affirmations. But if you're going to say them to yourself, say them in the mirror, looking at yourself in the face, okay? Look in your eye, in your face, right? You're looking at the face in the mirror. Look into your eyes. Look into your eyes, because that's what makes the difference. You know, and imagine again that you're talking to a child. If you're, you know, if you have kids or if you have nieces and nephews, I have a lot of nieces and nephews. When I sit there and tell them I love them and I'm in person right in front of them, I don't say it over their head. I say it when I'm looking in their eyes, because that makes the difference, because they know it. They can feel it. It's not just a bunch of words going, oh, literally over their head. Well, they're all bigger than me now. So now I've got to look up when I say it or look directly at. But anyways, to lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. And again, what is the phrase? Today's Sesame Street phrase for today: trust and believe. Those are the words of the day. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Just keep repeating it. Trust and believe. So again, to lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. So I just talked about that in affirmations. So let's go right to the book. Dun, 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 dun. You drew this card because there's something you desire right now. You already know what that is. You know what? I do. And to be honest with you, when I came on the show, if I didn't look my shiniest, I literally was crying right before this show. And because, you know, sometimes life just hits you upside the head and you don't see it coming. And I forgot to duck and it went bam. So anyways, to increase the speed of your manifestation, it's important to lift up your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to a higher level. Positive affirmations can increase your self-confidence and faith, which are 2 essential and magical ingredients in manifestation. This card is a message for you to say or read positive affirmations, and to boost your faith, optimism, and effectiveness in bringing about your desired results. I'm sorry, I kind of cut that in half there. I'm going to read that again. So, in case you're wondering why I shared all that other stuff, because I want you to know I'm still human. You know I come on this show and I try to present a positive front and all these things, but I'm still human and I still have emotions. And as a mental health advocate, I want people to know that even though I had a moment before this show, and I will have to deal with this moment afterwards, that when we acknowledge our feelings, when we don't push them aside, and we know we have to honor them, and, you know, and kind of look back at them after whatever task it is we're doing, that we can move through it. We can move through it. It's not anything new. But, you know, it happens from time to time. And sometimes we just get tapped by the sad stick and we have to deal with it. So, you know, anyways, again, you drew this card because there's something you desire right now. You already know what this is. To increase the speed of your manifestation, it's important to lift up your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to a higher level. Positive affirmations can increase your self-confidence and faith, which are two essential and magical ingredients in manifestation. This card is a message for you to say or read positive affirmations and to boost your faith, optimism, and effectiveness in bringing about your desired results. Additional meanings for this card. Begin each day with something beneficial such as praying, meditating, or reading from an uplifting book. As you stay positive, everything in your life becomes more positive. The outcome of the situation you're asking about is dependent upon your optimism. Watch the words that you say and write to ensure that they're positive and aligned with your desires. So again, it's talking about being positive. Now, you know, I know one of the terms going around, right, is toxic positivity. And there is a toxic positivity. It's in my definition, and I don't know what the actual definition is, but in my definition, it's to me what I have been in the past when you try to fix something, right? A fixer. A fixer means well, you know, and I'm not saying that because I was a fixer. A fixer means well, but a lot of times I think it's just because we don't know how to go in deep and figure out what needs to be fixed in ourselves. And I figured that out. It really kind of strained my relationship with baby sibling, and I'm very open about talking about that. A while ago, she gave me permission to talk about that. So, you know, I don't talk about people by name without their permission. Sometimes I give examples of people, but I have told them in the past, is it okay if I use you as an example? Sometimes I won't say your name. They're like, I don't care if you say my name. But it did strain me because I couldn't fix I was getting near the end of my healing journey and I was scared. And because I was scared, I just refused to, for some reason, I think it was a very subconscious thing out of fear, because where do I go when I'm healed? So I was looking for anything to hang on to, right? You know, so I tried to be a fixer because I knew I needed to fix myself and it didn't work out. And sometimes that's where the toxic positivity comes from. And that, again, that's my definition of it. I think everybody has their own definition. And of course there is the actual, you know, definition of it. But sometimes you can't just fix things with positivity. Sometimes you have to just let things happen and see what happens and just be a shoulder. Don't say anything. Just be there for somebody, okay? Because not every moment of every day is going to be happy. We're going to have those moments where we struggle, and that's okay. That we're human, right? We're not emotionless robots. So, wow. These cards are stingy today, aren't they? You know, the funny thing is, it might be my fault, because I kind of said before I started, I'm like, I hope the show doesn't go long, because I'm still, last week doing the, you know, the Aloha Oracle, it wiped me out. So moving, I don't know, moving, I'm tapping in here. The first thing I think when I see moving is moving, packing up a house and moving somewhere else. But the second thought I got is moving your body. And I started moving my body again. Oh my God, I did too much this morning. I wiped myself out, because my thing is with exercises, I tend to do exercises, but I do them kind of in rapid fire. I don't take breaks. You know, they always say, like, take a moment between each different thing that you're doing, right? Like, baby sibling does 40 push-ups every day. It's her 40 push-ups in 40 days thing. And, you know, I think she either goes 10 or 20 and then she takes a break and then she finishes up, or she'll do 10, take a break for not a break, but just a quick second to take a breath. And for me, it's like today I did jumping jacks, squats, and push-ups, but I didn't take a break between any of them. I didn't take a 5 to 10 second break. I just went rapid fire right into the next one. And boy, I had to sit down after a second, because my heart, I have to watch my heart. Okay. I am still, not where I need to be health wise for my heart to be healthy. So, you know, she's Penelope Von Beats. I know, I named my heart. I had to, well, I mean, I didn't have to, but I wanted to, and I'm not apologizing for it. But little Penelope and I, she was It's like she was lifting weights in there because I could feel her beating right out of my chest. So moving could be two things, and it could be both. It could be both for you, you know. Just as an example, one of the things I loved when I visited London is that, you know, I was not going to rent a car there because I always thought it would be cool to drive on the other side of the car, but driving on the other side of the road, that's just too much for me, right? You know, to just jump in for 10 days and go, yeah, let's do this. No, I'm not that brave. But London has a great transportation system. The buses, the tube. I mean, they're all so much fun. And I mean, really, you don't really need a car there. I mean, people talk about traffic in California. Holy shit. Traffic in the city is insane. They have a rush hour, okay? They have a rush hour. And I don't care what anybody says. I've sat in it on the bus, in the front row, on the top. It took me a whole trip to get there to the very last day, my very last bus ride, but I did it. I did it. Like an eagle, just spying that chair like prey, right? But what I loved about it so much is I found myself not always taking the transportation and walking a lot, you know, because, you know, back then too, it really kind of brought me out of my shell because I had to ask questions because I was by myself. And, you know, so it's like, well, you know, what do I do here? One of the workers in the tube took pity on me because they saw me looking at the map like, what the hell am I looking at? You know, it's like chutes and ladders on a wall. It made no sense to me. And even my friends, because they live out in the country, my friends, a married couple I know that used to live in California, he tried to explain to me my first day there because, you know, he helped get me acclimated, picked me up from the airport, dropped me off at the flat, and then the next day we had lunch, so I was able to take the bus and meet him. And he showed me the map and said, "This is all the stuff you need to know." And I gathered that, but when I was in a different station, nothing made sense, you know. But fortunately, I got a little bit of a lowdown because I had to go visit him and Cheryl, Rupert and Cheryl, out in the country later. You know, the following week I went out to see them and their son. So, but I'm just standing there like, and it was actually my trip back from them that I was umming at the tube station, and the poor man took pity on me. So, but I enjoyed walking there. I mean, believe it or not, I lost 10 pounds from walking, being there. And I was there just over a week. I was gone for 10 days, but I was only there for about 9. So, you know, I mean, the 2 travel days, they take up a lot of time. So, but yeah, or I guess 8, but yeah. And I mean, it's not even that about losing weight. It felt good to be out in the fresh air. The problem with living where I live is I don't know if we're considered a bedroom community or not, but walks around here are boring. Okay. I mean, there's nothing happening. There's just houses, and it's like, you know, which is why a lot of people go to the mall and do mall walking, which is something I guess I could do, because that is kind of fun, and it's a lot of steps. Our malls are not small here; they're pretty ginormous. So, anyways, moving. So let's see what the book has to say. I'm curious if it's about moving or moving. Oh, look, motivation. I don't think it's an accident that I saw that. Motivation. All right. I see you, whoever's talking to me. So anyways, this card indicates that you are moving or just moved into a new home. Oh, older sibling. Are you listening? Are you listening? This card indicates that you are moving or just moved into a new home. This is a huge change affecting every part of your life. On the one hand, it is a wonderful way to clear the energy and start anew. On the other hand, the upheaval can be very disruptive. This card acknowledges how much your current or impending move affects you. With this relocation, self-care becomes even more important. Take time to rest instead of rushing to get everything immediately completed. Keep up your normal routines of exercise and healthful eating. You need your strength and energy for this move and during the adjustment period as well. Self-care also includes exploring your new neighborhood and making new friends. Aww. Additional meanings: changing your workplace, redecorating or remodeling, a second home or vacation, moving your body through a new exercise program. There it is. Under additional meanings. Okay. And emotionally moving experience. You know, I've covered 2 of those this morning. But yeah, see, okay, at least moving your body was in there. But I like them both, right? I mean, they both kind of fit. So that was exciting. That was exciting. I know. All right, let's get to my favorite, the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle. This is, you know, the cards on here are long because they go through the flowers and everything, but I just love the pictures on the cards. The pictures on the cards bring me so much joy. So anyways, all right, come on, let's see. One more shuffle. No? Well, that one, I lost a couple cards in there, so let me see. One more shuffle. No, I'm not pulling out that many. Nope, see, they went right back in. All right, I guess that was it then. Was it? Yeah. Oh, look at that one. Something made me look at love spell. Yeah, whatever. I know. Some of us might be cynical about love. You know, when you've been single as long as I have, you're just kind of like, whatever, at this point. I'm probably going to die alone. But I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Shelly Marie, reel it in again. Reel it in, baby. Reel it in. Oh, anyways, oh my God, this is so cute. Look at that. How cute is that? I mean, it's supposed to be a spiritual symbol, but it is so adorable. Balance the physical and the spiritual. I finally got my exercise card, but this is important. Okay. Now I'm going to preface this before I go into what I am feeling coming from this card before we read the book. When I talk about my healing journey, when I talk about my weight loss journey, when I talk about body mindfulness and body positivity, if you are happy exactly the way you are, whatever shape, size, height, whatever that you are, just empower yourself with that. My journey is my own journey, and there's a very specific reason why I'm on this journey. It used to be for vanity purposes. It used to be because I didn't like the looks I would get from other people when I'd walk by. Now, I don't care about that stuff. I don't give a shit what other people think about me. That's their problem. If they want to judge me, then judge me. Because I will tell you, whether you are thick or thin, I have seen both sides say nasty things about each other. But that's a very small percentage of people. The majority of the people empower one another. They don't care if their friend weighs 100 pounds or 200 pounds or 300 pounds. They're friends. They love each other one way or the other. Okay? It doesn't matter to them. So if you, no matter where you are, if you were trying to go on a health journey, if you were trying to go on a weight loss journey, I am going to tell you now that this is where this card comes in. You have got to balance the physical and the spiritual. You have got to learn how to love yourself exactly as you are in this moment. Because if you don't, the struggle is going to be real. When I finally figured out how to balance my physical with the spiritual, I actually started losing weight, and I have kept it off. As a person who has yo-yoed since my 20s, you know, it's amazing to me that this has happened. Because usually by now I would start putting it back on, you know, or usually by now like a pound or two would freak me out, and then I would emotionally eat. And I am a recovering emotional eater. I'm not going to lie about that. I have it is classified as an eating disorder. So in a way I do have an eating disorder on top of my mental health issues. I'm a winner. I'm the full package, guys. I'm the full package. But anyways, but you know what? I learned how to embrace these things. That's why I can joke, not from a place of trying to deflect, but just saying, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. It's hard. Not every day I look at myself in the mirror and love who I see. But it used to be because about my size, but now it's more because I am learning to understand who I am now. This person I've become after removing all the baggage and everything. And a lot of that comes from that spiritual and that physical balance. So you have to learn how to tie them all together. And again, find that self-love for yourself as you are, exactly as you are. You know, just, okay, so I'm going to go on a side adventure here for a second. I love SpongeBob SquarePants. I know. A lot of people are like, what? But some of us, we have our guilty pleasures. And when I need something in the background, or if I'm trying to take a nap, I put on the old Scooby-Doo, or the one that even predates me, or SpongeBob. And yes, I can fall asleep to both of them. But a lot of times I'll just lay there watching it if I don't know what else to watch and I don't really care what I'm watching. And there was an episode where SpongeBob was at Muscle Beach, right? And he just wanted to be like everybody else. And he was trying so hard, and he basically tried to fake it till fake it till you make it kind of thing. He bought these blow up arms, and everybody found out that he was a fraud. But the funny thing was, nobody cared at the end. It's like they were more mad at him for trying to pretend to be somebody that he wasn't than just being himself. Especially, Sandy Squirrel, right? She's like, hey, well, you lied to me. And so it really is about just, being yourself. We worry so much about the outside, but the outside changes over time. I don't look the same as I did 10 years ago because I've gotten older. Not because of my weight. I'm actually probably around the same weight or less weight. I don't know. Whatever it is. But the thing is, I don't look the same as I did 20 years ago. Because we get older, we change, our hair changes. I mean, right now I'm dealing with all kinds of colors because, I have prematurely grayed since I was 18. I started going a little more gray at 30. And now it's like the front half of my head grays, but the back half, it's sporadic. So it's kind of like, what the hell is happening on my head? But I figure before I go back to my natural color, I'm just going to play with this because there's not a lot I can do unless I bleach the back of my head. And that's not something I want to do because I love my curls and I love my hair. But you know what? I just learned how to embrace it, and I stopped caring. I stopped caring what other people thought. I got two-toned shoulders and I got two-toned hair. But what was important was what we think about ourselves, how we look at ourselves. And again, that's where balancing the physical and the spiritual come in my interpretation of this card. I mean, we are going to read now about the other one. This was supposed to be my preface before my thoughts, right? But my thoughts came out with this. And in order for us to move forward in a very healthy way, and I don't mean physically healthy, I mean emotionally and spiritually healthy, mentally healthy. You don't have to have a dinged up mental health to have mental health, issues. I mean, it could be situational. You could have the blues, maybe you're grieving. There's a lot of different things that, roll into these different things. For me, mental health, a lot of times it is a brain function. For me, it's a chemical imbalance. For other people, I know it's a chemical imbalance. For other people, I know it's just situational. It's something, maybe they go through a certain time of the year because they might be grieving something that happened that time of the year. And it's just, and then it goes away and they're feeling back to themselves again and they're moving on. But not all of us have that. So we have to find a way to do that. And in order for me to really kind of come to terms with my dinged up mental health and the fact that it is probably something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life, I had to also learn how to balance the physical, mental, and the spiritual aspects of myself. So be kind to yourself, give yourself some grace, and, just go out there and be you. If there's an outfit you love, wear it. Wear it. If there's music you love, don't hide it. Okay? I mean, just be yourself, because there's always going to be somebody out there who judges us for something. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're thick or thin, because again, I'm going to say this one last time. I have seen people on the thick side make fun of people on the thin side, and I've seen people on the thin side make fun of people on the thick side, and then in the middle, the majority of the people are just loving one another and not giving a shit what the other person looks like. They just love that person they're friends with. One of my therapist's biggest things when I first started seeing her, well, Shelly Marie, are you single? Yes. Why? I'm all, look at me. Nobody, and she's all, I don't want to hear that as an excuse. She's all, you go out there and you look at some of the couples out there and you tell me how different they are, because they're not all the same. And it's like, that's my big thing when I don't know what to say. It's like, yeah, Thanks for catching me in that one, therapist. But she wasn't wrong. And that started making me think, gosh, you know, how much do I hate myself that I don't think I'm worthy of somebody else? You know? And so it's where divinity comes in. It's about balancing. You know, I may not be in therapy anymore, and I may be at the end of my healing journey, but I'm still learning about myself, and I'm still learning a lot of different things. We learn things for the rest of our lives. We're always going to learn something every day. I can't remember what it was I learned the other day, but I was kind of laughing. I'm like, hey, look at me. I learned something new today. But giving ourselves the leg up, and especially if we have these moments where we're feeling like we're falling apart, giving ourselves a leg up allows us to come full circle, to come back around and say, okay, this is how I was feeling 10 minutes ago. This is how I'm feeling now. Am I still feeling this way 10 minutes from now? And if you are, maybe you need to sit down and journal it. Or maybe it was just a fleeting, feeling that was passing through. But whether it's fleeting or whether it's something you feel you need to journal about, I will journal a fleeting feeling anyway, because I know it could, for me, it could plant a seed that comes something bigger. But if it's just a fleeting thing for you, honor it, feel it, give it some grace, and let it go. If it's something that feels like it needs to be journaled, honor it, give it some grace, feel it, let it go. Or whatever order I said it in before. That sounded more accurate. So let's see. Balance the physical and the spiritual. This is the lotus root. Of course it's the lotus root. There it is right there. Right? So, I love the lotus. One of my favorite flowers. I don't think I've ever seen one in person, but I've seen pictures, I've seen videos, and they are beautiful, and they grow in the darkness, they grow in the muck and the mud, and they spring up into this beautiful thing. And I think that's why they chose that for this card's flower. Because if you're going through something, you probably feel like you're in the thick of it. You probably feel like you can't breathe, like you're in the mud, like you're drowning in this muck. And then all of a sudden you discover something about yourself, and it's like, poof, there's a petal coming up from underneath, rising to sit on top of all of that. Because that's what we deserve. That's what we deserve. As people, as humans, as people trying to better ourselves, to heal ourselves, we deserve that. Even if you don't have anything you need to heal, you deserve to shine. You deserve to come up from, I don't care if you have a dinged up mental health or not. I don't care if you've been through a trauma or not. We all go through something in life that makes us feel like, at some point in our lives, like we're drowning, like we're stuck in something, and we deserve to feel like that flower that says, hey, look, you know what? I went through this. I survived this. And now I can shine. Now I can unfurl my petals and just sit here on top of this swamp looking pretty. So, I'm not laughing at that. It's just kind of like the things I say that come out of my mouth, the way I say it, and the vision in my mind. I just imagine myself floating on water going, you know what? I deserve to be here. So, and it wasn't really like a funny haha laugh. It was more like a giggle, like, look at me thinking nice things about myself. So, the lotus root is the woody rhizome, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry, of the gorgeous lotus plant. It can snake up to 1 meter in length through the thick mud at the bottom of rivers and ponds. Lotus root is a popular ingredient in many Asian dishes and is extremely versatile. It has been used in Chinese herbal medicine for thousands of years to staunch blood flow and balance the emotions. Lotus root reduces stress and brings peace of mind. It heals both the physical and the spiritual body. I don't think I've had this card before, to be honest. The ancient Buddhist custom of presenting alms in the form of food to monks is strongly represented in this card. This practice reinforces that monks are not elevated above everyone else. They are human and need physical sustenance to continue their religious work. Think the Dalai Lama, right? In return for the offerings of food, monks bestow blessings such as long life, health, and happiness upon the giver. Thus, the monks are supported physically and the believers are supported spiritually in a symbiotic relationship that gives the physical and spiritual equal importance. It can be easy to neglect the physical body when concentrating on spiritual pursuits. However, the act of preparing, cooking, and eating food, as well as sharing meals with loved ones, can be a divine experience. When feeling overwhelmed, the simple act of sharing a meal can bring healing. The divinity unicorn asks us to sustain our body temple for the soul and with, the divinity unicorn asks us to sustain our body temple for the soul with healthy and delicious food. Food nourishes the body, which in turn allows us to follow the pursuits that feeds our souls. So I know this went into a little bit of more of a health type of thing, but don't just look at it that way. I mean, no one's sitting there and saying, eat a salad with a friend. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's probably saying nourish your body with the foods that make you want to feel better. But if you're going out with friends, don't look at this card and say, well, my friends are all ordering burgers, but I watched Shelly Marie's show today, and so I should eat salad. No, go out there and have fun with your people. It's talking about sharing a meal with your people. I went out with my friend yesterday, the one that was sad on Wednesday, and she's still, she's still grieving. Grieving has no time limit. But, got her out of the house for a little bit yesterday, went and did a short version of our usual hangout with lunch and coffee. And we just sat there and we talked and we enjoyed and we laughed and we giggled. We moved through her emotions from time to time when her sweet little fur baby, popped into the conversation, or the one who's at home at the moment, popped into the conversation. And we move through these things, but that's a spiritual experience. That is being there for one another. That is, giving a little of yourself to somebody else in need, or just sharing in a moment and sharing that meal and having fun with it. And I mean, the big joke was, I was going to Chipotle for lunch, and I ended up at Panda Express. And she found a table over by Chipotle, and I was looking for her all over the place. I'm like, where'd she go? Because she had pizza. And then I came back and she was laughing, kind of chuckling, like, I thought you were going to Chipotle. He's like, yeah, I was aiming for it, but then I smelled Panda Express and I ended up with orange chicken. So those are the spiritual moments, and they can cause giggles. They can, they can really kind of just take you out of whatever it is you're in at the moment, or it can just make the moment better if you're just, enjoying yourself in that day. But sharing a meal with people is sharing your time. It's sharing your space. It's, giving of yourself to somebody else while they give back to you. That's why family dinners around the table, a lot of people will kind of turn their nose up at now because not everybody does that. And when kids get older, you just kind of are everywhere. But they can be important because you're sharing your day. You're talking about different things. You're being one unit in that moment with whoever it is that you're sharing a meal with. So the unicorn magic for this is, the unicorns encourage you to cook and share with others to honor the divine self in all. Featuring lotus root in some of your dishes will bring balance and harmony to the meal. Well, I don't know where you find that kind of stuff over here. So, that's up to you if that's what you want to do. But, I don't know. If you're eating and you have a TV nearby, go onto YouTube and put like a binaural beats with lotus pictures in the background. I love binaural beats. They're some of my favorites. But balancing your physical and your spiritual can be very, very huge. So, think about that for a little bit, and, go out there and, just have a good time with your people. Okay. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so, so much for watching. If you want to see a replay of this, you can catch it on the Aloha Perspective Facebook page, where you can like and follow that one, or you can find it on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective, where you can also subscribe and like and whatever else you want to do over there. Okay. I do share them to Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, I share it to my Goalie Fan account, which is my oldest one. So Goalie Fan 1973, but I also share it to the Aloha, or Shellbell's Quest. Okay. I didn't know about the Aloha Perspective back then. So it'll say Shelly Marie, the Aloha Perspective, but the handle itself is at Shellbell's Quest. So you can find it all those places. I am on TikTok under the Aloha Perspective. I am on Instagram, which I still haven't figured out how to get this show up on there because it's too long. So I'm still figuring out my whole Instagram angle, but I cover it all. So you cannot get away from me. But have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Have a safe and lovely, lovely, wonderful weekend. And I will see you back here on Monday for whatever we're going to talk about. All right. Have a great day.